I'm here with another video using the sidecar Epilog, and I'm going to test it on this stretch of road that's quite windy, and I want to see how it behaves on it. And for comparison's sakes, I have been using this piece of road to test out some of OpenPilot's new models, for instance, and for the most part, it struggles a lot on it. And so I'm going to set it to the speed limit that it's asking for, which is 35 miles an hour. So let's go to that. So 35. All right. So now, I'm going to put to 35 miles an hour. I do have a car coming up behind me. I was hoping I'd have some clear road, but can't win it all. All right. So now we're stay in your lane, please. All right. Okay. So I'm going to slow it down, actually, even more. Let's say like 20. Let's do 28 for this curve. So, okay, it is asking for help. Okay, so it is still quite similar to OpenPilot in that end, where it did ask for that help. And just to be clear, this is definitely pushing the system beyond its design. So sidecar Epilog. All right, I'm going to help it there. That was a little scary. Sidecar Epilog is really just a highway assist. And this is definitely not highway conditions, but this is some extreme turning that it's doing. I mean, if you set the speed low enough, it looks like it is able to navigate them. So this stretch is almost over, but I think what I can take away is that the lateral performance, meaning the steering of the car, is quite good. So right now I have the speed limit set pretty low, and I'm actually using the gas myself to accelerate, but it's doing all the steering on its own, and it is cutting some corners, but it recovered pretty well for that instance there. Okay, so it's asking for some help, but I mean, I didn't give it. It still made it. And that's not bad. Let me go backwards on it and see how it acts then. So pull it off. There's a car behind me. And do a U-turn over here. My car can do this U-turn. Yeah. All right, so I think the trick is to just set it at a low speed. So like lower than this, like with the very lowest, which is 18 miles an hour. So let's do 18 miles an hour. And I'll handle the acceleration. I can't press the brake because the brake will disengage the system. But right now I am manipulating the gas, and to brake, all I'm doing is letting off the gas. So right now I'm going to let off the gas and let it do the turning for me. Now it is a little twitchy, but it is doing a decent job of staying in the lane. And again, I just want to emphasize that this is really just a test. This is not how you should be using sidecar Epilog. I would even argue that you shouldn't be using OpenPilot like this either. So I'm going to let it crawl through this curve. So I'm hitting the reflector, so I'm definitely over the double yellow, so that is not good. But if you see my other tests in the past at OpenPilot, I mean, it used to do this on the same road as well. So I think I wouldn't really call it like a failure on both ends, because again, they weren't really designed for conditions like this. And that's where I think both Epilog and Comma can't really get off the highway usage until they get more sensors, because right now, like I think the system could be more effective if it had more cameras to the side to understand that, like, hey, the lane is, where it is versus right now. It's hard for I'm sure it's hard for the system to understand where it's at based on just one camera. Like where's each wheel landing? And yeah, that was a pretty good test of the steering capabilities of Epilog SideCar, I think. We definitely had some issues with going over the double yellow line, but again, it's not meant to do that, and the fact that it did most of it, I think, is pretty stellar. So if you want to ask if Open Pilot and Sidecar compare, I would say they do. Now, if we're talking about city streets, that's still hard to compare because, not many of the cars, even on Open Pilot, can make those city turns. I know that for their demonstration, or what they call the Taco Bell run, they were even using code that is not even available for the public yet because they were enabling the cars to turn way more aggressively. And in doing so, they were essentially breaking their own rules on how much they allow the car to turn, because the power steering in these cars are super strong, and they're all software limited. But if that software limit was removed, this thing could turn like a helicopter, even at highway speeds, and it could definitely cause a lot of danger for drivers. But that was the short demonstration of how well Sidecar can navigate twisty roads, and I'm sure I can test out more later, but that'll be the first of many. And thanks for watching.